We're feeling very end of the season, a D-Mob happy. We have no cares.
Yes.
It's a stripped down one, old school, we might say.
Yeah.
Just with me, Nicol Hay.
And myself, Robert Borthwick.
Yeah. Well, we could try and pass it off as old school, but really I've just been working all weekend and we're just squeezing this afterthought out.
Raith Rovers are very much an afterthought.
They certainly are. That's Callum Elliott's team.
Callum Elliott, goal scorer extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire?
Goal scorer. Scorer.
Yeah, scored. He's not a scorer of goals. He's a scorer of occasional goals.
That has been kind. That has been
infrequent.
Yes.
Shall we say
sporadic?
Shall we say he's not lived up to his potential?
He has not lived up to his potential. No, he hasn't.
More about Callum Elliott later on. Heart of Midlothian continued their apathetic tour.
Relentless strides towards the Premiership.
Oh no, we do have something to play for. We've got Hibs' points record in the Championship in the second tier.
Is that
to
right?
Beat. I believe we're now just 2 points behind it with 2 games left to play.
Wow, blockbuster.
And we put ourselves there thanks to a 2-1 home victory against Raith Rovers of Kirkcaldy, Fife.
Raith Rovers? Is that Glenn Roder's team?
It certainly is, yeah. He took them all the way up from the amateur levels, and he's just really trying to make something with them.
That's great.
That plucky young man.
That's great to know.
That's not true, I just mispronounced Rovers.
Yes, it was Raith Rovers.
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
So, a few changes made to the lineup. Miguel Pardo told have the day off.
Yep.
Have a siesta.
You beat me to it. Yeah. Stereotypes.
It was the obvious joke to make.
It was.
But, you know, I do feel many people around Tynecastle were probably taking a similar siesta.
Yes. Yeah, including me. So that was, not even on the bench, so obviously just giving a wee bit of time off. Maybe Clive Jagger's over and they went out for tapas.
That is Miguel Pardo's agent.
Yes.
Because most people will not know that.
No, they will.
Do you think so?
People remember that name. He was the guy in the press conference when he first signed.
So
what Miguel's trying to say. Yeah.
Well, intense Jagger attack.
Yep.
Right, so instead of Miguel, we had Kenny Anderson making another start.
Yes.
Start. McCarthy at left back, Gallagher in goals.
Yes, the gal. The big bald gal.
The gal.
Yeah.
Go on, you Gallus.
So he was in the nets with Jack Hamilton on the bench.
And Sufyan El Hasnoui given the nod up front in place of Generose Fauk.
Yes, indeed.
And I did not go to this game. I was working instead, which was great. I was so glad that happened.
You should ask your work for a refund on your season ticket.
They will look kindly on such a request. So set the scene for me, Robert. How were the opening exchanges?
It was at Tynecastle.
Good.
It was sunny.
Cool.
Yep. And Hearts were in maroon tops, white shorts, black socks.
Probably a little bit less detail, I think.
Okay. It was kind of itty-bitty a wee bit. It was sort of typical of Hearts post-championship champion winning team. Not much fluency, not much really going on as an attacking force.
Would the word malaise be fair?
That's good word to use. I'll use that more often.
Nice.
Today.
Okay, cool.
So malaise. Yep.
Yeah. So Heart of Malaise.
Heart of Midlothian. That should be a thing. It was just kind of, Gomez was typical Gomez of the last few weeks. He was not getting too many good touches on the ball, wasn't finding too many passes. Walker was trying things. He was trying to get past players, trying to take them on. Same as Nicholson. It was just a kind of pretty drab opening.
Were we still kind of dominating the passing? Were we retaining possession, or did Raith have chances? Were Raith involved, really?
They were the other team on the pitch.
Cool.
At the time.
11 bodies?
White tops.
Cool.
Navy blue shorts. No, it was we were still dominating. They didn't really look like threatening us all that often. There was a couple of wee slips at the back. 14 That guy got past Patterson at one stage. They got him behind a couple of times, but they just look completely toothless up front.
Raith's season is over as well, isn't it?
That's the thing. It was, when it comes to dead rubber matches, no one can catch Raith, and Raith can't catch anyone from 6th, and no one can catch us in 1st.
Okay.
And it very, very much seemed like that watching the game.
Everyone very much on their holidays.
Pretty much, yeah.
Danny Wilson look motivated?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I mean, it's hard to tell when you're playing against Callum Elliott and someone else.
Well, he didn't run away screaming when he saw Callum Elliott's face, which suggests a certain amount of commitment to his day job.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's all we need to see is lack of running and screaming from Callum Elliott.
So I would have looked up and seen him and went, I am not going near. No, you can't pay me enough.
I'm not looking at this guy. I'm done with this. Takes the armband off. Hands in his badge.
I just don't understand how his face works.
No, it's a very expressive face without being, elastic. It's like someone's filled a pillowcase with mashed potatoes and hammers.
That's my favourite dinner. We did score a goal though.
Yeah, we did. And there was actually a nice wee bit of build-up in that one as well. Jamie Walker took it through the middle of the park and played it to Callum Patterson. Kenny Anderson, as he was doing, for the 60-odd minutes that he was on the park, was getting beyond the back line and making those sort of darting runs that we'd heard so much about before he signed. Got to the byline. No, I'm talking about the penalty incident.
You are.
Well, was that not before?
It was before it.
Suck it.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
End of the season, huh? Yeah. Malaise. So for the penalty incident, what I did manage to glean from both our highlights and Raith Rovers highlights, which are free and from another angle, so enjoy those. Kenny Anderson was making those excellent supporting runs from midfield, getting beyond strikers, and he made such a run into the sort of inside right channel and cut the ball back across into the box. An excellent challenge to deny Sufyan El Hasmi just at the cusp of the 6-yard box. Yep. Then it broke to, was it Walker it broke to? Patterson, who got tackled from behind again. Very, very well.
Yeah, good tackle.
And then it fell to Walker, who spunked it.
Yeah, pansied it right at the keeper.
Yes, absolutely.
An end of season finish.
Very much so.
It was a good wee move though. Really promising to see Anderson making those runs because he played very deep against Alloa and he did it very effectively. Did it very well. But that was more of an indication of the player that we may well have signed. Well, we have signed him literally.
Yes,
the type of player.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Thank God, man! It's the end of the season.
It really is.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
It so is. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to get a real indication of whether Anderson has a long-term future as a deep-lying runner or whether he'll be a number 10 in these sort of matches. It's difficult to gain an impression of anything from these matches, but encouraging signs nonetheless.
Absolutely, yes.
And then we did score a goal.
We did.
Jamie Walker running through the midfield.
And then he gave it to Osman So.
He certainly did.
It wasn't Kenny Anderson.
No.
And So sort of backed the goal, flicked it inside for Sammy Nick.
He did.
And Nicholson took what looked like about 72 touches.
Conservatively speaking, yes.
To go about 3 yards and bamboozled the defenders obviously. And his left foot, not lashed it as such, but placed it.
It was a slot, I feel.
Placed it with a hint of lash.
Just a hint.
Just a smidge.
Just a taste.
Yes.
But yeah, well, like you say, 72 touches seemed to get a lot of time from the defender, but he manufactured the space quite nicely in order to slot it across the keeper and into the bottom corner. It's a nice finish.
It is, and I always love seeing Nicholson on his left foot because he's so dangerous with both feet. Mm-hmm. It's just that's another example of how comfortable he is using both feet, and we're kind of seeing that from Jamie Walker in the last few months as well. It's good to have, and King as well actually. It's good to have 3 wingers who can use both feet just as effectively as the other. So
3 wingers who can all very comfortably play either wing or centrally if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shame about Billy King though, having to get a part of his ankle bone shaved off. He's going to be out for a while because I like watching him play football.
I like all the parts of my ankle. I don't think I'd just sort of willingly give up on one. I suppose if it's stopping you playing football, that's a bit of a downer.
I think it was more of a growth than actually just shaving a bone with a Gillette.
just a bit of bone decided to grow. That's not usual.
No, it's not. Which is why you got the operation.
That's how medicine works.
That's how injuries work. And obviously Alexander with his broken finger or some shit. But I'm not bothered. I'm bothered. I hope he's okay.
I don't know. He could be dead. Fuck him.
I hope he's fine. But it'll be good to see. I'm sure Jack Hamilton will start next week against Raith, for example.
Yeah.
That was just that was Gallagher's first game since the first game of the season. So yeah.
Yeah. And we'll skip ahead just because we're on the subject of Gallagher. He did have one pretty decent save right at the end of the game, from a long range Callum Elliott effort. Again, difficult to tell much from anything that happens at this Malaysia stage of the Malaise, but I mean, he is the third choice keeper, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's not going to be here next season. I'm almost absolutely fucking certain of that, to be honest. But he's stuck around the whole season. He's been there as a guy that might need to come in and never has had to. Just saying words about Scott Gallagher now.
Cool. Well, maybe we could loan him to a championship club to get vital first team experience. Someone that he's comfortable with, Rangers.
Rangers, like actually, I've spoken to a lot of Rangers fans about Gallagher when he first signed, and they were all like, he's fucking pretty good. So I think he might actually be a good goalkeeper, but Alexander was the immovable object for much of the season, and when Alexander was injured, so was Gallagher. So. Yeah,
and Hamilton's pretty good.
Yes, I like him. He's built like a keeper.
He certainly is.
Yeah, big lad.
That's how I like keepers to be built.
Big.
Keeper-like.
Keeper-like,
just in that shape.
Shape of our goals.
yeah, you just get them out of the keeper mould. You pour,
keeper fluid. Wait till it sets.
I was going to say, Play-Doh. You select the keeper thing from the Play-Doh factory,
and then you push it down.
Yeah. You've got all your footballer shapes on a plastic strip.
Yeah.
Keeper, striker.
You get it wrong and you end up with Mixu Patalainen.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Just sort of move it around a bit while you're squeezing. You get Callum Elliott.
Yeah, just sort of punch it a bit.
Anything else happened in the first half?
Yeah, that was a fucker of a tangent right there.
Cool.
Sufyan Al-Hasnawi had a shot from about 25 yards, which went wide. Actually, just in general, Al-Hasnawi was again very busy. Maybe not. Pardon me. Maybe not getting the same effective touches that he got against Alloa, but he was still doing a lot of running, a lot of working. A couple of things paid off for him. He made a few good through balls, so it's encouraging to see. People always say, "Oh, it's only Alloa, it's only Raith Rovers," but these are the games that he has to build his confidence in. So
yeah. Very good. We did see flashes of it when El Hasnawi, before he got injured, when he was still sort of struggling for match fitness. But like a real key feature of his game was the fact that he would effectively play in midfield and up front.
Yeah.
Like, I think his facial expression and his playing style makes people look at him and think, oh, he's languid, he's a Berbatov type, he doesn't work.
Yeah.
But he actually covers every blade of grass.
He does a fuckload of work. It's sort of, he's the only player really. Obviously, you can say Anderson and Gallagher as well because they've hardly fucking played. But he's one of the signings that people are saying jury's out, we're not sure. But he's beginning to show more and more what he can do. And obviously his goal in the second half showed the sort of movement and the space he can create for himself to get in those goal scoring positions.
Certainly a useful player to have in a squad covering several positions.
Yes.
And a good guy, probably.
Yeah, probs.
Maybe.
Yep, seems it.
Okay, cool. Second half. Not much happened before we scored a second goal.
Exactly, the goal I was just alluding to there.
Yay!
That was actually, Patterson's had his critics in the past few weeks, but he was very effective in what he did to create that goal. He took it down the right hand side, used his power and his strength, which are huge attributes for him. We've been saying that basically since he was 17. Got the ball to the byline, cut it back. I thought it was going towards Osman Sow, but he just walked away from it really nonchalantly. Just like, I've scored a bunch of goals.
Nah, lol.
I don't need this.
I'm sure Osman Sow was just very aware that Raith Rovers had decided not to mark anyone in midfield. Much less Sufyan Al-Hasnawi, who was...
Not one person, yeah, and that was a slot. That was
yes.
Textbook slot into the bottom corner.
Slotted from that, I don't know, like so much space. It was like Sufyan was marooned in the valley of wind and ghosts. There was nothing around him. Nothing to disturb him.
No one within about 10 yards either side of him.
Maybe he just farted really badly.
Oh, that could be it.
Like I think that might be a great idea for creating space in the football pitch. Just at really strategic moments, just let rip a real Vindaloo bastard.
Maybe just no one likes him. Even the opposition is like, nah, mate, not even going to mark you.
I have heard that about basketball players. Like there's sort of basketball players that when they're in the playoffs, they'll not shower after games and things like that, just so they're minging, so that when guys are like trying to mark them, just like, oh shit, I don't want to get near that guy.
Maybe that's what Sufjan's doing then. Yeah, that would explain the amount of space that he had to place that ball into the bottom corner. But yeah, good wee goal.
And then the next major incident after that, Sean McCurdy came on. McCurdy.
Sean McCurdy.
Can we call him Kurds?
No. We discussed this pre-podcast. But don't pretend like you're just bringing this up now. We're not calling Kurds.
Stop breaking the fourth wall. But I want to call him Kurds.
Well, you can call him Kurds.
I'll call him Kurds.
But that's just, I'm not into that.
That's fine.
Are you spelling it with a U?
Maybe.
Okay. Shit. Yes, Sean McCurdy.
Yeah, so how was his performance? Was it Kurdish?
Fully Kurdish, yeah. I was really impressed with him. Obviously, it's just a wee cameo. He came on for the impressive Kenny Anderson. And he was totally not overawed by the occasion whatsoever. He came on basically at the same time as Nadi came on for Raith, and Sean McCurdy
is about... no idea that Nadi came on because he's not in those highlights at all.
No, he came on to rapturous applause though, which was good.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he fucking does. He's been a great player for Hearts this year. But him and McCurdy came on at similar times, and Sean McCurdy obviously ran at the game. He's about 3'8".
Cool.
Small guy. And Christian Nadi is not.
I'm assuming he's not as wide as Christian Nadi?
No, he's basically the exact dimensions of a toothpick. Nice, like real size.
Yeah, that's not on the Play-Doh footballer strip.
No, it's not. We'll have to get that. We'll have to get that done for when he breaks into the first team.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like something that sort of I really enjoyed was. Nadi got the ball in the midfield and McCurdy ran up to him and bounced off him, and I was like, oh, you poor wee lamb, and then he ran into it and like did it again, and they just kept going and kept going. It's like he didn't stop.
It was like a puppy trying to get through a door.
It's like, in Grand Theft Auto when you try and jump up a cliff and you're just not tall enough and you keep bouncing off it. It was just like that. But yeah, he kept going and he eventually dispossessed him and then played a wee pass. So,
oh wow, that's not the end of the story I was expecting.
Yeah, no, and other than the fact he just he wasn't scared at all to get wung in. He was very composed on the ball. Gomez would play it square across the midfield. He'd be closed in by two men. We drop at the shoulder. He's got 5 yards of space and he plays a pass.
So what sort of?
He was very firm. Very firm with his passing. Very firm.
Nice. I like a firm pass.
Yeah, it was. A couple were a wee bit too firm, but his vision was good. He was noticing the wee runs ahead of him in the midfield and stuff like that. He was, he looks very promising.
So what sort of midfielder is he? Our Kurds?
McCurdy. He seems like a sort of ball-playing midfielder. Maybe a slightly more deep line. I don't know, because I've not seen him in youth games. Usually, with Jordan McGee, I'd seen him in a few youth games and I kind of know about him, but like Sean McCurdy was born in 1998, so I haven't seen it. Yeah. He only turned 17 on Sunday.
Was he born before or after? Oh no, he must have been born before we won the Scottish Cup then.
He was 4 weeks old when Hearts won the Scottish Cup.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I watched that while I was at work.
Yeah, I was 8.
Oh fuck everyone.
But yeah, no, he does. He looks quite promising. As I say, I wouldn't be able to give a proper judgment on him because I've not seen him in an extended amount of time, but he tends to, his name pops up on the score sheet for the under-20s and plays in Scotland youth level and all that kind of stuff, but he seems like a very tidy midfielder. I think him and Angus Beath, obviously Beath is away at Stirling Albion just now, I think those two are the next sort of main ones to be knocking on the door with Flanagan and Smith.
Excellent. Exciting times ahead, no doubt.
Actually, one of my favourite passes of that game was made by wee McCurdy. He was sort of played it square on and about the halfway line, and without looking over the shoulder, played a sort of through ball to El Hasnaoui, and I was like, oh shit, that was quite lovely. And ended up in Gary Oliver getting a wee chance on goal as well. So. Gary Oliver came on as well.
Yeah, that's true.
He hit the post.
Cool. Young Hearts players.
Yeah.
We like them so much.
All over the place.
Speaking of former Young Hearts players...
Don't say it.
Callum Elliott?
Yeah, that's what you were going to say.
I kind of have to bring up the fact that he scored a goal.
I thought you were going to throw a curveball and say Jason Thompson, but
no.
Clearly not. Actually, it was a really nice goal from Raith's perspective. The Hearts were on the attack, and I think it was Walker played a wee cross ball into the middle looking for El Hasnaoui, landed at the keeper's arms, chucked it out, and the guy made a run through the midfield. To be fair, he was... No one really got near to him, but it was a good counter-attack in that sense.
He was dancing through the malaise.
Yeah, he was gliding through the malaise of Hearts midfield. And I think, we'd put a few bodies forward, so we were a wee bit undermanned at the back. But it was Barry...
We couldn't be arsed.
That too, yeah. Barry Mackay threaded the boo. Threaded the boo. Threaded the boo through for Callum Elliott. And Elliott, he turned inside Ozturk really nicely, put in the bottom corner. It was just a good finish. It's just, he doesn't do that very often. So
he certainly does not.
Good for him. Good for him.
So songs for Callum. No.
Big clum, was he like? But yeah, it was a decent goal. Can't really take much away from it.
Cool.
Gallagher was seething though.
Yeah.
Raging. He started punching the turf. And because he's got the baldy, it looked like He-Man. It was incredible.
You realise He-Man wasn't bald?
Who am I thinking of?
Panthro?
Panthro.
There you go. Different cartoon.
Cutting that out?
Nope.
Oh shit. I'll show myself up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racist. Not much else to sum up about that afternoon. Was anything else? We hit the post, didn't we?
Yeah. Jamie Walker took a short corner to El Hasnaoui, who wasn't expecting it, but somehow managed to get there ahead of the defender. Flicked it back to Walker, who did a sort of cross-come shot, which hit the post and bounced out, and no one picked up on it. And James Keatons came on and got a really, really good reception from the fans. That was probably one of the biggest cheers of the day, was when Keatons came on, and he thanked everyone on Twitter for it as well. But it seems like after having been told, you'll be a bit part next season, he's wanting to stay, he's wanting to fight for his place, which is encouraging. I like that.
Well, that seems to be a theme with Scott Robinson as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice that he wants to stay, but I completely see why he isn't being offered another year. Or we want to move him on. I
don't think it's so much as we want to move him on. I think it's we've given him the chance. We've given him the offer. You can stay, fight for a place, but you will be third or fourth choice striker, or you can move on with our consent, free of any sort of money. So. I think it's good to see. It's kind of... I didn't expect any less from the guy. Having watched him play football, he tries so fucking hard. His work rate's great. He's still got a very good goals to game ratio as well. I think, if he proves to be, second, third, fourth choice next season, he's still a good option to bring on because he does score goals.
He's a great player to have if you're the dominant team in a game. I just don't know how many games we're going to be dominant in next season.
Time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of players who will not be around next season...
Why, Danny? Why?
We perhaps have...
look, I'm over it.
Yeah, that was a good dramatic interpretation of how I took the news as well. Well done. Perhaps an explanation for why Danny Wilson has not been at peak form since we won the league.
Yeah. Wilson isn't the best centre-half at the club,
no,
let alone in the Championship, like a lot of fans are sort of saying. And don't get me wrong, we said it last week, we've said it a lot of weeks. I'm a big Danny fan. I really like him. I think for such a young guy, he's captained the club so well. He's learned a lot last season and brought that into this season. But if he wants to move on, if he wants to activate that clause in his contract, then I don't see us getting a much lesser player in to replace him. given our recruitment policy over the past 12 months.
Yeah, like the way we've identified players in other positions, there's not been anyone who's come in that's been a tragic failure.
Yeah.
There's no reason to doubt that we can find centre halves of similar quality. Personally speaking, I think he or his agent must have some idea of someone that wants to take them on, that he must consider a step up or like another stepping stone in rehabilitating his career. Because, like you say, he seems like a great guy, really good captain. The maturity level of the guy for someone who is so young, it's so easy to forget just how young he actually is.
Yeah.
Like that will stand him in good stead. That might well just end up being the defining thing we think about of him as a player when he gets to the end of his career.
Yeah.
In terms of his actual footballing ability, he has been good this season. He is good. He's a good ball-playing centre half who reads the game well. But he is prone to slight dips in concentration. He's not immaculate.
No.
And it's very hard to reconcile the Danny Wilson that we've seen over the last few years with the player that Liverpool thought had the potential to play in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
He's light years away from that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this season he's completely strolled it.
Yeah.
Completely strolled it. And I think, again, Aleem has been a massive, massive part of that. I love the way that he can take the ball down under pressure and play it out of defence. Easy passes.
Yeah, passes.
Easy passes. And I love that about him. I think that's great. It's reminiscent of Andy Webster when he first came from Arbroath and broke through under Levine. Just that ability to take a step back, to have that vision, to see what your surroundings are. I think that's a huge thing for a centre half to have.
Okay, he's a footballer as well as a centre half.
He is a footballer, and that's evidenced by 5 goals he scored this season as well. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to act in the opposition box as well. As my sort of dramatic noises earlier on indicated, I'm upset.
Yeah,
but not
devastated.
No, absolutely not. I'd be a lot more upset if Ozturk was leaving, to be honest.
If Danny was still here next season, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But happier if we got a better centre half in.
Yeah.
But it's a big ask to ask somebody to step down from club captain to second choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that obviously breeds a whole new exciting question, along with who we're going to get to replace him, who's going to be the new club captain. Because who realistically is going to be playing most often next season? Who's got that in their locker? Oof. Just to wind up Ian Greenhill, I hope it's Callum Patterson.
The shirt is his. You would guess Gomez unless he loses his midfield place to Payardo.
If Payardo stays, he's still not even got a contract.
I want to give it to Aleem just for the lulz.
I was about to say exactly the same, yeah. I think realistically it will be Gomez as captain and Ozturk / Alexander as vice, but I don't see Alexander playing that often next year.
You think so? You think already?
A broken finger, he's 37 years old. I don't know.
I think it'd be a season too soon for Jack. I think probably we've got another season of Alexander fitness permitting.
If that's the case, then it'll be Gomez captain, Alexander vice captain, I would imagine. Then if either are unavailable, then Aleem is a very good bet for it.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, because Aleem's maybe his defining moment of the season was when Milson was out the team.
Yeah.
Suspended, injured, that kind of stuff. And seeing Aleem playing alongside either Brad or Jordan McGee, and the way that he sort of talked them through the games was incredible.
Yeah.
Considering he's actually, I think, younger than Brad Mackay as well. But obviously he's got that experience, he's got that sort of air of confidence about him. And it was really...
He certainly has an air of confidence.
He fucking does. But yeah, it was great to see. I would love to see Aleem sort of kick on and maybe take on the armband at some stage.
Maybe we'll just lose our fucking minds and give it to Jamie Walker as an attempt to get him to stay.
Imagine him barking orders at you.
Imagine his rousing halftime speech. We love you, Jamie, but you're not a talker. You're not a talker.
Just give it to Sufjan and see the Hearts fans implode. Yes.
Miguel and get him to give the team talk in Spanish. Just like force every other Hearts player to learn Spanish.
What, like a communist regime?
I'm down with that.
Yeah, Heart of Midlothian. So it's an interesting question. I think it might be as cut and dry as we were saying it with Gomez, Alexander, Ozturk, trifecta of glory with the armband, but I don't know.
Oh, we might
sign a captain.
Yeah, might do.
Andy Webster.
It's not impossible, is it?
It's not. He's leaving Coventry, apparently.
Yeah. He would be good, I think.
Doing his badges.
That certainly would, Levine likes people who can do that and can be like coaches as well.
Could be a thing.
Just get Robbie Nielsen to register again and he can be the captain.
That glorious 4 months when he was club captain. I remember that.
He was a good captain.
He was alright, yeah. Did the job.
Loved to mumble. Okay, so yeah, Hearts news, that happened. Anything really, really hilarious happen over the weekend? Anything that, extended a historically terrible record in one of Scotland's premier competitions? Yeah.
Something happened.
It really did.
It was at Hampden.
Yeah.
That's the National Stadium in front of a live TV audience.
Certainly, Hibernian returned to the scene of the crime.
They hibsed it.
They sure hibsed it, but they hibsed it in such style.
I know.
They had so many chances.
Scott Allen with probably his greatest performance in a Hibs top to date, and soz mate.
Putting himself right in the shop window.
Yep.
Falkirk won.
They did. That's my favourite part. I mean, I know obviously it's a favourite part, but like the goal was my favourite part because Scott Robertson was tracking. What's the guy's name? Blair Alston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down the right hand side, Blair Alston's a tiny wee guy, and he somehow managed to outmuscle him and then outpace him, and then dink a wee ball into the middle where Just Fontaine was posted missing, and Dylan McGeoch, his attempt at trying to stop tiny wee Craig Sibbald score a header was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Yeah,
so it was a cross from a Hobbit
to
another Hobbit, and
he fucking goal.
Splendid stuff. Splendid, though I don't know why Hibs are complaining about, losing a semi-final to a smaller club, seeing how they've won the Scottish Cup in the living memory.
Yes, they have. I think they've won it the same amount of times, actually. Twice. It was... actually, my favourite part wasn't during the game, it's the aftermath.
Yes.
And what has happened. Oh my God, Alan Stubbs. You keep providing us with the lols, and we keep embracing them, drinking them in.
Respect to Peter Houston stepping up. I mean,
fucking right, but I wouldn't mess with Peter Houston.
Stubbs bowled him underarm, but Houston smashed it out the park.
He fucking did. Stubbs, only one team deserved to be in the final. Eyes going everywhere, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, what are you saying? Like, you're saying this live on TV. Calm down, okay? Maybe you're the better team, but
Yeah.
And then the greatest comeback. He actually said, "Deal with it." In its own sentence, he said, "Deal with it, Peter Houston."
Well, after delivering a huge tactical smackdown where he explained just how they've managed to beat Hibs 3 times this season
in grave detail,
and they've still got to play them.
Yeah,
they've still got to play them in the last game of the season, which could be vital for playoff placement.
I know. Honestly, it was so great.
I really hope they score off like 17 crosses and Stubbs still hasn't sorted it.
That would be, oh God, yeah. I hope Scott Allen hits the bar 18 times as well. So, but he hit the bar. Who goes, fuck.
But it would have been just painful for Hibs if they'd gone through, because they would have had to face Celtic in the final. Oh wait a minute! Celtic being denied a penalty. Is that right? God, does that happen? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Arma-fucking-geddon. Honestly, man, that, the fact it was Griffiths with a header, it was so blatantly handball. It is warming me right now.
With the additional assistant referee looking at the arm.
For about 2 yards of me, nope, nothing untoward.
I'm not sure that is an arm. What is an arm? What is football? What is matter? What is life? That's the That's the problem when you put Descartes on the touchline.
I reckon what he's actually staring at so intensely, and he is staring, is Lee Griffiths' hairline.
That is very distracting.
He's probably like, what the shit is that? And then he's heard a big noise from the Celtic fans going, oh, penalty. And he said, nah, no, it isn't.
Funny enough, just to tie this into previous banter, like Griffiths' roots, his plugs do look like Play-Doh squirting out of the multi-hole attachment.
God, you meant that, didn't you?
I've been planning this.
Storing that up for so long. Yeah, no, he's a fucking ugly guy, like.
He sure is. Oh God,
Jesus!
I don't think we've given that enough chat on this podcast in the past. But my God, Lee Griffiths is a difficult man to look at.
It's not easy. Aye, yeah, and then obviously his wife's favourite, Craig Gordon, got sent off as well.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, what a guy! He's always loved Cali, doesn't he?
Magnificent weekend for former Hearts goalkeepers.
Yes, and then Lukas Jaluska as well, being just like hat's mental, like he's like a Labrador going on a walk. He's like, I'm fucking playing. So every time they got the ball, he manically laughed and threw the ball 50 yards and went, yay! And then he just killed Edward Offery with a big knee in the back as well.
He certainly did.
Which
was not giving us a penalty, oddly enough.
Who gives a fuck?
Yay!
So yeah, enjoyable weekend of football. All in. Hearts win, Hibs lose, Celtic lose. Bring me the vodka.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Cool. So, with every reasonable drop of football squeezed out of that weekend, let's wrap up the show with songs. Who was the best player against Raith Rovers in a Heart of Midlothian shirt? Robert Borthwick.
I'm going to tell you who it is.
Cool.
And I can already hear the angry Hearts fans listening to the podcast go, no, fucking wasn't it? Sufjan El-Haznawi.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I love the
Excellent. He looked very good. He was very involved.
The Soup Kitchen, yeah.
Okay, so first up, before we get to myself and Robert,
yes, me,
who has also prepared a song.
I have.
It's the triumphant return of John Smith,
real name John Smith,
real name, who previously contributed the Hallelujah Ali Mojturk,
yes,
and another song that I can't remember right now.
Yep,
cool.
Payardo. Was it Payardo? We built this city on Payardo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That was him.
Yep. So the guy with the two best songs so far this season.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I will admit, before I sing this song, I hadn't heard of this tune until about 5 minutes ago.
Don't you listen to Radio 1?
I really don't.
No, neither do I.
Robert Sorrelli informed me that it's very famous.
Yes, very well known now.
Okay, so bear that in mind. You know Alim always told you don't worry about Hibs fans. They're just desperate wee jakies and inbreds from Preston pans. Well, we hoped you'd be magic, we hope we don't wait too long. But you live with us Turks, so we think you deserve a song. Because you know we're all about El-Haz, and we're all about El-Haz, and now we all about El-Haz. Yeah, that's it. Furthermore,
yeah, that's very good, John.
That's it. Yeah, way, well done. Well done.
Name.
Yeah, cool,
great stuff.
Very well constructed. Robert,
should I go next? I'll go next. Yeah, fuck it, man.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fluid podcasting.
Yes.
Right. Tell me when we play at home, he's gonna score another goal. Tell me when we play at home, he's gonna score another goal. Some fans think that he is shitty, Sufjan El-Haznawi. That's all I've got.
What? I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I've no idea what song it is.
Tell me, ma, when I go home, the boys will leave the girls alone.
Nope.
Really?
I've no idea what you're
fucking
singing.
Kidding?
No.
Oh my god.
Is that also a very famous song?
Yes, from like the 90s.
Cool.
Wow, you are a fucking... What?
Yeah, I've no idea.
Do you just listen to Japanese music? Pretty much.
Maybe.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I would check out the new record from Tom
Nope,
GGG.
not gonna.
It's really good.
Cool.
Okay, well,
Yeah, thanks, man. Fuck, Jesus.
No, it was a good song. I just didn't know what it was. It was the musical equivalent of looking at Callum Elliott's face.
Yeah, fuck, Jesus, that's not easy.
Christ.
Not easy. Okay, so now it's your turn to sing a song.
Okay. I hope you've heard of this one.
Wouldn't bet on it.
Well, he came here from Morocco by the way of Netherlands, and he's striding through the midfield and he's playing it to the wings. Sufjan's doing step-overs, making fools of high bees. Gonna score a goal, El Hasnoui. El Hasnoui. Gonna score a goal, El Hasnoui.
I like the eye contact you made with me there, but I don't know the song.
It's Valerie by the Zootons and Lasterley.
What that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, the late Amy Winehouse.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Produced by Mark Ronson.
Yep. Jeez, you do listen to Radio 1. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
John Smith definitely won then.
Oh, 100% again, man.
Bastard.
Jesus Christ. See, that was not an easy week for songs, though.
Absolutely not.
We had to do it, though. That's a hurdle we had to leap over.
Deep dig.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is an El Hasnoui song that I've heard by actual fans on streets singing it with words.
Cool.
And it's just to the tune of Macarena, and it's just El Hasnoui, 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 El Hasnoui, 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 El Hasnoui, 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 El Hasnoui. Aye.
I know it already.
Yeah.
I've heard that song as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Everyone knows it. It's a classic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fans win then.
Yep.
Well done, fans.
This is a victory for the fans. We'll be in very safe hands when Ambush leaves. We'll have the best songs.
Great. Okay. Next week we play Cowden Beast away in a game that we're all looking forward to.
All of us are just, buzzing. The lads are buzzing in training.
They can't contain themselves, and we'll be back to cover it just as diligently as this one.
Absolutely.
2 more games left, guys. 2 more games.
Malaise.
And if you enjoyed just how much banter we've slathered in your earports, tweet us. Tweet Robert.
Myself directly at RF Borthwick.
Tweet Nickel at... What's my Twitter? Nickel Hay. That's my name.
It's your own name. And tweet us as a collective twosome at We Have No Cares.
Yeah.
And also you can email us, just like real name John Smith did with his song, at wehavenocares@gmail.com. And where are this episode and all the previous ones?
Every single one of them is... you can find them very easily at wehavenocares.tumblr.com. But if you just want to stick We Have No Cares into YouTube, you'll find it there. Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Why don't you?
Just do whatever. I mean, you are listening to this already, so you've probably got a grasp on how to listen to it. But, that's defeating the purpose.
Tell a friend, tell somebody who's not listened to the podcast to get on it. Right in the heart of the malaise.
This the business end of the season now. Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. All the vital chat is coming up. Steve Crawford.
Steve Crawford.
Amaruso, that's a run, it's a done!